Hi, I'm Dr. Audrey McCool. I'm here with my team member, Dr. Tyra Carter, and we're going to let you know a bit about the program that we're doing here in Muleshoe to try to reduce cancer risk throughout the community. As part of that program, we would really like people to learn about ways that they can eat more healthy and have a more healthy lifestyle. Today we're going to concentrate on how you can eat more healthy, since United Supermarkets is a team member that's working with us on the program. One of the things that we'd like to mention to begin with is that fruits and vegetables are a critical component of healthy eating. In fact, the new My Plate that was developed by the USDA says at least half the plate for your meal should include fruits and vegetables, or be composed of fruits and vegetables. And so there's a great array of fruits and vegetables that are available here in the store, and that's an area that we'd like you to become familiar with and really try to incorporate in your meals.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tyra Carter. I'm corporate dietitian for United Supermarkets, Market Street, and Amigos United. We're here in the Muleshoe store today to tell you a little bit more about our NuVal system that we have. It's a nutritional scoring system that is actually a nationwide program. It was developed by Dr. David Katz out of Yale University as a lead researcher, but it was developed by leading health and nutrition medical experts across the country. It is one of the most comprehensive, if not the most comprehensive, nutritional scoring system available. And United Supermarkets was the first supermarket in Texas to bring this program to our store guests. Currently, there is only one other supermarket chain in the state of Texas that has this program, and they're not in any of our service areas. The NuVal system is found in states across the nation from coast to coast, currently in 31 states and over 1,500 supermarkets. So we're very fortunate to be able to participate in this scoring system. To give you a little idea of how this works, the NuVal scores foods from 1 to 100. The higher the score, the better the nutrition. And as you can see, we're in the canned vegetable aisle right now. We have signage up throughout our stores telling you the range of scores for different food groups and food categories, and also the median score, which is the middle score in a range of scores. You can see here from canned vegetables that the scores go as low as 13 and as high as 100. That's an important point. Every category in the store does not go as low as 1 or as high as 100. So the idea is to trade up for health. Again, the higher the score, the better the nutrition. An example of that we can look at is green beans. And you can see here that canned green beans with no salt added scores 100. That is the same score that you would find for fresh green beans. And if you went over and you bought some frozen green beans, the frozen green beans would also have a score of 100. So you can purchase foods based on pricing. Perhaps in December, that would not be the best time of the year to get the best price on fresh green beans, so perhaps frozen or canned green beans would be a better buy for your budget. But one important point is, most canned vegetables, what is going to lower the score on those is going to be added salt. So when you take the same green beans, you put them in a can and you add salt to them, that's going to increase the sodium content per serving, and the score drops to almost half, 55. So that's going to be the main culprit that you find in canned vegetables, is added sodium. And sodium is one of the nutrients that tends to lower a score. So you have things like trans fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, added sugars to foods. Those are all going to lower scores, whereas beneficial nutrients like fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins and minerals, natural plant chemicals that we call phytonutrients, those are all going to increase the scores of foods. And scores are based on the number of calories in a serving compared to the number of beneficial nutrients for health versus detrimental nutrients for health, things that would improve health and reduce risk for disease versus things that would tend to increase risk for disease. And one of the things that I can point out to you, not only in vegetables, but in looking at fruit. If you take a fresh apple, any variety of fresh apple, it doesn't matter the color or the variety, that apple is going to have a score of 96. But if you take that apple and you process it, the score in the applesauce can drop to 30. If you add this particular applesauce is a natural applesauce that does not have any added sugar. But if you take and make applesauce out of a fresh apple and you add sugar to it, the score drops to about a 9. If you look at blueberries, you can take frozen blueberries without any added sugar. You can have fresh blueberries that you buy in the produce department, or you can have, where's my canned blueberries? You can have canned blueberries that does not have any added sugar. These are packed in water. All of these are going to have a score of 100. So that's an example of fruit. The main culprit with fruit is going to be added sugar, whereas canned vegetables, it's added salt. So look for the higher scores on the shelf tags. Look for shelf talkers that we have put throughout the store. These blue shelf talkers here, cut your risk, boost your health. That is our theme for this cancer risk reduction program. So we have individual shelf talkers on items throughout the store that are going to have a tendency, these foods would tend to reduce risk for cancer and promote health and wellness. We're in the cereal aisle here looking at the hot cereal, and one of the things that I want to point out in the cereal, whether you're talking about hot cereal or cold cereal, is one of the things that influences scores over here is the amount of fiber, so whether a cereal is made from whole grains or refined grains, and also the amount of sugar and salt added to products. We have the Food Club, which is our store brand of products, very high quality products. This Quick Oats that has no salt or sugar added to it has a score of 62. But then if you look here and you look at these instant packs of oats that are flavored, this one is apples and cinnamon, and this of course has sodium added to it, it has sugar added to it, so you go from a score of 62 to a score of 26 for a product like this. One of the things that I do is I make my own little instant packs myself. I'll take the Quick Oats and I may add some dried fruit to it and just heat up some hot water in the microwave, add that to it. You really don't even have to cook it. And there I've got a very nourishing, high-scoring product that doesn't have the added salt and sugar that you get into with these instant mixes. And one of the things to think about on cereal shopping is trade up for health. The higher the score, the better the nutrition. So for instance, if you're used to eating a cereal that has a score of maybe 15 or 20, maybe you could look for a new cereal item that's comparable that might have a score of 25 or 27. That would be an example of trading up for health. So it's not like you have to go from a 15 to 100. Any little incremental changes will help you to improve your nutrition and reduce your risk for cancers and other chronic health diseases. We're in the dairy section. Dairy foods, whether you're talking about fluid milk or yogurt, that's a very important category, one that is promoted in the My Plate, and one a food that really does have to do with reducing risk of cancer. One of the things that I would like to talk to you about is that all foods count. And so whether you're talking about dairy products or meat products, those kinds of foods are very important to include in your daily meals and your diet. For dairy foods and meat products, one of the things that's going to lower the scores is going to be the saturated fat content. And when you're talking about milk products, you can see here that if you're looking at fluid milk and you're looking at whole milk, which is the highest fat content of milk, you see that the score for one serving is 52. And one of the things that I would point out here on servings, some people will say, well, if I eat 2 servings, does that change the score? No. No matter how much milk you drink or how many apples you eat, the score is the same. The score does not change based on how much you eat. If you go to a 2% milk, the score is going to go up to 55, so that's a little bit lower fat content. And then if you go to a 1% milk, the score goes up to an 81. And if you go to completely fat-free milk, the score goes to 91. So you can see incrementally how, as you take out fat out of the product, that the scores go up. Keep in mind that on this milk, that's all you're taking out. You're not taking out calcium or vitamin D. The fat content is the only thing that's changing in these different forms of milk. Another example that I would like for you to look at is the organic products here. And whether something is organic or not does not change the score. Doesn't matter what foods you're talking about, whether it's milk or produce or other items. The reason for that is that the overwhelming amount of research does not indicate that just because something is organic, it contains more vitamins and minerals and nutrients. Most people choose organic foods for other reasons besides getting more vitamin A or more vitamin C. So that does not influence the scores, the NuVal scores, whether or not something is organic. Meat items, we're not in that department, but meat items function basically the same way. One of the highest scoring protein foods in the meat department is going to be salmon. That has a score of 87 because of the high amount of omega-3 fatty acids in that product. And then other beef and pork, poultry are going to score lower. You might even have skinless, boneless poultry scoring in the 30s. That does not mean that that's not a good product and you should not eat poultry. All foods count, and the NuVal system is a system to use that you don't have to get 90 to 100 to get an A. Whatever category you're shopping in, remember to look for those ranges and get higher scores within that range. For instance, poultry or meat may only go up to 30 or 40. That's great. Try to choose one of those higher scoring products. But then when you're over in the produce department, practically everything over there falls between 90 to 100. That does not mean that poultry is less important in the diet or fish is less important than produce. All foods count. Remember the myplate.gov. 1/2 of your plate should be fruits and veggies. 1/4 of your plate, whole grains. 1/4 of your plate, the protein foods. And then don't forget the dairy section. I'm going to invite 2 other team members with me now that are working on this project. And they're actually working on in-store projects associated with the cancer risk reduction research project that we have going on. And so I'm going to let them explain a little bit more about what they're doing actually in the Muleshoe store related to this research.
As part of our working with the United Supermarkets as a part of the team on this project, I'm here, some of my students are here 2 Saturdays a week, usually the first and second Saturday of the month from 12 to 5. And we have tastings of different products, including the recipes for those items that we're tasting. And our goal is to help you learn new ways that you can use some of the things that we've talked about today, or some of the things that you see in the store that have the shelf talkers, new ways to use them in easy to prepare, nutritious foods. Because we also know that the more that people eat at home and prepare some of their own foods and use fewer processed foods that are high in sugar and sodium, they're going to end up with a more healthful diet. So we're trying to show you some ways that you can do this economically and easily. But we're not the only ones here. My team member, Norma, that most of you see, is here every Friday and Saturday, and she does in-store demonstrations on different products and is trying to also show you some of the comparative products with different NuVal scores and how to select those with the best ones. Do you want to say anything, Norma?
Some of my demos, I'm trying to incorporate the NuVal products into my demos. I myself have just started learning all about this NuVal program, so I'm trying to incorporate my demos in with the NuVal program. And if I'm here on Friday and Saturday, and if you have any questions, just look me up and I'll be glad to try to answer your questions.
So in closing, we hope to see you all in the store. We hope to see you checking out the NuVal scores. We hope to see you sampling some of our products and tasting some of the things that Norma has. Thank you.